I've been thinking a lot about life in modern society as of late. How we're all just kind of working ourselves on the treadmill, the rat race. It's interesting looking back on the path that we've taken as humanity as a whole. We've come from hunter-gatherer roots, and then we developed technology to become farmers in an agrarian culture, and now we've become industrialized and we have all of our modern technology. In theory, all of this technology, everything we've been working towards was to spare us the pain of labor and to allow us to have greater enjoyment in our lives, and so that we could work less. And we gotta stop and look around and say to ourselves, what are we doing, really? So many of us are mindlessly grinding out the rat race, and we've structured our society in such a way that we need to stay working at our various jobs in order to make money just to be allowed to live. It really doesn't make any sense to me, because it seems like I've heard analyses done by historians that hunter-gatherers, they would have an intense work period for a period of a few hours during the day, but the rest of the time would be devoted to relaxing and socializing with the tribe and cooking and preparing food. When I look out at our society nowadays and I observe my own life that I'm living, it seems like we're all just kind of working ourselves to death, really. And it seems completely unnecessary to me. I think with all the technology we have nowadays and the civilization and the infrastructure that we've built, I don't think it's necessary to run the rat race as much as we are. I think we owe it to our ancestors, really, to structure our lives in such a way that we can benefit, really, from everything we've been working towards as humanity as a whole. Because if we look at modern statistics now, we're as lonely as ever. We're more isolated and lonely than ever before. Our rates of mental illness are skyrocketing. And there's really no reason for this. We're only doing this to ourselves. I think it's going to be important for each and every one of us to ask the really hard questions and say, what am I doing with my life? How would I be spending my time now if I were to actually enjoy it? If you go on living your life in modern society, but you don't enjoy any bit of it, why even bother? Honestly, we'll just have worked ourselves into the ground for what? Keep working towards something, but the purpose of life is to be present in the moment. It's not to work towards something else in the future. This is a lesson I'm trying to teach myself, and maybe something you can apply to your own life as well. But work a little less. Do something you enjoy. Reach out to the people around you and your friends and your family, the people that you care about. Check in on them and see how they're doing, really. And try to structure your life in a way where you can spend as much time with them as possible. The Buddha taught us that everything is impermanent, everything is changing in a constant state of flux, and everything is going to pass away. And it might be an unpleasant truth to look at, but did you not realize that you too are going to be subject to old age and to decay and even death of the body? There's going to come a time when we are laying on our deathbeds and we'll be reflecting upon the life that we lived, if we're lucky, that is, if we're lucky enough to have the chance to lay on a deathbed, what will we be thinking in those moments? We should structure our lives now, because there's going to come a time when we will be reflecting back on our lives and we'll be thinking, and we don't want in that moment to be thinking back with regret and with things that we wish we had done because we had gotten caught up in the drudgery of modern day living. Most people, when they're on their deathbeds and they look back at their lives, they don't say, man, I really wish I worked more. No. Nearly absolutely everybody in that position says, I wish I had spent more time with my friends and my family, and I wish I had worked less. So it's important to take that piece of insight into our lives now and live in such a way that when that moment comes for us, we can truly say that we don't have any regrets and we lived our lives to the fullest.